Tonight, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum in Kansas City is mourning another loss. Ron Teasley, or as his teammates called him, Schoolboy, died Tuesday at age 99.
There are a few, precious few rather, Negro Leagues players still alive. KCTV5's Betsy Webster caught up with museum president Bob Kendrick, who says Teasley exemplifies the kinds of stories the museum is dedicated to preserving.
Ron "Schoolboy" Teasley was the second oldest living Negro Leagues player. He played back in 1948, right around the time that integration began. Losing his living voice makes preserving the voices of players like him an increasingly urgent mission of this museum. Teasley played 1 year with the New York Cubans after being rejected by the Dodgers, the same year Jackie Robinson was signed. His story mirrors many in the Negro Leagues, a life that defied the narratives at the time.
There was these misnomers that these athletes were illiterate. They were hobos. They were tramps, vagabonds.
Teasley was a Navy veteran, a college-educated athlete who later became an educator, mentor, and coach.
Every time we lose one of these legendary athletes who called the Negro Leagues home, it takes a piece of us with them.
Their stories stem from a horrible chapter of American history, segregation. But the focus here is on the timeless lesson of the power to persevere and prevail.
This story is not about the adversity, but rather what they did to overcome that adversity. And that's the real story. And it really does transcend race, it transcends age, it transcends gender. What's not to love about that kind of story?
This month, you can experience those stories for free thanks to support from the Royals Foundation. Those who keep the stories alive hope that you walk away inspired to dream big and persevere against whatever obstacles you may face. In Kansas City, Missouri, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.